Struggling for a bit of galloping room at the moment. Back towards the tail goes Anasaur. 500 left to travel, nearing the turn. Putri Jewel swings around the bend in front from Hello Paris, going up now, breathing down its neck. Over on the outside, Snits along. Deeper out is Indefatigable. They're followed further back behind them, Famous Someday. Down on the inside is Salty. Noble Savage back in the field, struggling for the moment by the 150 though. And Putri Jewel still the leader. RAGNAR'S Saga's getting a run from the back of the field and starting to storm home. It's Putri Jewel, RAGNAR'S Saga from Barry's Rabbit. RAGNAR'S Saga went to Putri Jewel. He's come from an impossible spot nearing the turn to win it, RAGNAR'S.
Now, Simon, we talked about the colours because of Putri Jewel, and you said the stablemate may be the danger, and that was a huge performance.
Yeah, it was. He's still very green, evident in the way. I thought he'd be able to get on the back of ours, or worst case scenario, be three back the paint, and he just got in that awkward spot, and he was a bit keen in running and started to surge on and off the bridle, and he's still raw. I mean, obviously he's only lightly raced, but gee, to win from where he did, because that other filly, that's the best I've had her going, and I thought going into this race she'd beat him over 1200, and then if it was 1400 he'd have her covered. So it's a good win. He did a lot of things wrong, and as I said, overcome her, and she's going really good, so happy.
Such a long stride as well. You mentioned that over racing early and almost coming across the heels, and he was just really lengthening out quite nicely, and as you said, was picking up the ground really quick.
Yeah, he does, and he'll get better as he gets further and also gets a bit more experience. So the Belmont Guineas looks a really nice race for him, but we'll get him out to a 1400 and angle our way across to the Belmont Guineas. But he's a nice horse. You just got to figure it all out. But once he does, he'll be right.
What about the ride from Jarrad as well? Because there was a couple of gaps there that some may have not wanted, but he was very keen to get through.
Yeah, well, he's fearless. He's a good hoop. It's funny, Perth's got a lot of good hoops, but you don't get the opportunity to use them because you usually just link up with your own. And I mean, Nux and I got a really good association, but he rides really well, so I was pleased when he was on.
Just on the gelding as well, how long have you had him for, and what are you expecting, or what have you been initial thoughts?
Yeah, I've had him 6 weeks now, but originally I had him 2 or 3 preps as a year and onwards. So he's generally the rule is that once they get towards that 3-year-old past the summer carnival, if I haven't stepped them out, Brett gives them to people in the bush, and then I play around with the next lot that comes through. Like Lindsay works in really well with him. So it come back to me. I was lucky, so I was happy.
You've got a very good steward there, mate. Well done, and a good run by Putri Jewel as well.
Yeah, really good. She's just probably unlucky in hindsight now, and she's hit a really smart horse on the way through. So I was pretty bullish coming here thinking I could quinella it, and it was just nice to get it done.
Well done, mate. Congratulations. We'll just grab winning jockey now, Jarrad Noske as well. Jarrad said it to Simon, that was one hell of a ride.
It's nice when you got a horse ready to do that. It's pretty special.
You look pretty confident out there, but like I said, there's a lot of jockeys that wouldn't have wanted to punch through some of those gaps, but you weren't holding back.
I didn't want to be that far back. We just sort of popped up out the gates a bit, being the first one in there with barrier 1. But he got into a pretty good rhythm for where he was, and then when the split started to come on the straightening, he was taking to himself really.
Did you think the filly was too far in front of you?
Mate, I got a little bit of a bump on the way through, and that's when I thought, oh, that might be out of reach. But then he got his momentum back up, and yeah, he was always going to get her. We
just heard Simon say about the Guinea's bound and is stepping up in the distance. How good can this galloper be from what you just felt out there?
Well, it definitely feels like he wants further. So, yeah, if he gets better with distance, yeah, he's going to be exciting.
Well done, mate. Brilliant ride.
Cheers. Thanks, mate.